Welcome to Dog on the Plot. I have a dog, we're back on the plot. I seem to have brought the weather back with me from Turkey. This is absolutely glorious, but I want to make the most of it because I don't think it's going to last much longer. We're due a little bit of a cold snap. Now, it was my intention to start this week's video with a bit of a what died, what survived while I was away, especially because I was away an extra day because our flight got cancelled. So we were an extra day in Turkey. And then when I came back, I had a mad water, and then I was up to Derby to see Liam, my partner. So yeah, everything kind of got neglected for at least sort of 10, 11, maybe even 12 days. And I really thought we would be coming back to, yeah, some failures. But I'm pleased to report that everything seemed to have pulled through really well. I think the advantage was that it was a little bit cloudy and a little bit rainy while we were away here in the UK, which served the crops that were in the greenhouses really well. So that was good. And the stuff in the house, I just basically watered like mad before I went. And I also had put it on capillary matting, and that just seemed to get it over that little bit of, neglect. Now, since I've been back, I've been doing a lot of pricking out, potting on, getting stuff into fresh compost. I have to say that I've not been hugely impressed by the Silver Grow compost. Everything's drying out. Everything seems pretty stunted. It hasn't died. But it hasn't grown very much either. So one of the things I've been doing this week is swapping stuff out. That means I have found what I've got as spares. So when I came down to the allotment this morning, I filled the boot with all my spare plants, which I've now taken down to the allotment sale. So I've got rid of quite a few of my chilies, sweet peppers, and aubergines that were all duplicates. So I've still got all my varieties, but I haven't got extras now. So they've gone to the shop. So the ones that I've got at home, it's all down to them now. But what I want to do this morning, while the weather is lovely, there's a nice sort of breeze as well. I think it's perfect conditions to just crack on. I think what I'm really going to have to do is graft this morning because as well as my plants kind of growing while I've been away, the weeds have been growing. So I need to do some weeding, but I also need to continue prepping beds because some of the beds have not had the mulch of compost yet. There's plenty to be getting on with, and I'm going to crack on with it. And then this afternoon, we'll do some more of the fun stuff together, including putting out my first peas. So I think I've got 5 beds still to prepare. Now, I need a reminder of my method. Hoe, weed, water, seed, and mulch. Okay, so that's what I've still got to do. So I've got that to do on 5 beds, but also inside the greenhouse and these new raised beds that I'm putting in. So if you remember behind the greenhouse, I've put in these 5 raised beds. Hang on, that's not 5, that's 6. 6 raised beds. They're currently only growing Camasias, which are absolutely stunning. And oh, these 2 brassicas. Now, I covered these up because the pigeons were eating them. I have not looked underneath the cover since I've been away. Now, I think this is 9-star broccoli. It's a bit of a small 9-star broccoli because, of course, it was transplanted from the old plot. But if it is, I'm very happy that I got at least one of those to transplant and live. And hopefully, it'll bed in and be even more impressive next year. Now this one, I know what this one is. This is the Australian tree cabbage, which the pigeons had a field day on. Let's see if we can get the bag off. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering about these bags, this is my method for protecting plants against both pigeons and slugs. And oh, look at this poor thing. Yeah, it's not supposed to look like that, and it's not supposed to have gone to flower either. I need to take off all these flower shoots and hope for the best. But I have got some more Australian tree cabbage on the go if that needs replacing. Okay, I am going to have to cover them though, because as I say, the pigeons really like them. Now you may see that behind me I have a different kind of view. So this is the plot next door to mine. This is Vicky's, and she had an absolutely huge brassica cage on there made out of the do you call it Harris fencing? But she's taken it all down. She's going to grow pumpkins there rather than brassicas this year. And it's lovely because it's really opened up the plot. So it's nice not to have all that caging across the back there. Anyway, that's beside the point. I need to not stall and get on. So these beds are on the list, but they need the proper no-dig treatment. So I'm going to be using cardboard between them and wood chip. And then I think the rabbit bedding newspaper underneath, and then put the compost on top. That might not be today. I think I'm going to finish the beds, the main beds on the plot first. Okay, no more stalling. Let's get on. Well, as always, life rather gets in the way. I did a good couple of hours down here and then I had to go off and do a family thing. So it's 5:30 now and I haven't got done nearly what I wanted. But I have done some stuff, so let me show you. Oh, and the sun's come out for us as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 beds have been mulched. I didn't feed them, so they were hoed, weeded, watered and mulched, but not fed because I've still run out of the seaweed feed. Hey, look at this though. Potatoes, Charlotte potatoes have started coming up. That's exciting. Now, there is one bed left, this one. And the reason that I haven't done this one is because I think I might put my main crop potatoes in here. Now, I know I said I was going to do them in buckets, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think I just might put them in that bed and conserve the compost. So I did that. I started doing some weeding, but not my favourite job. And then I got rather distracted and I did this. Check this out. The arches are up, repaired, and I've started threading through the bamboo canes ready to make the tunnels. I did them on the plot last year and I'm doing in exactly the same way on the plot this year. So the tunnels as they stand at the moment have got the bamboo canes threaded through. I still need to put the one across the top, but otherwise the canes are in. They are fastened to the poles and they are repaired because some of them were missing legs or the legs had come apart. So I've just repaired them with a bamboo stick. So the jute netting will go all the way over. I might put bamboo canes across the top bit here so things can sprawl in this way. But obviously I don't want to put them across this bit. So yeah, that's high enough for me. Because I still want to be able to use these paths. That was a weird little dance move there. And the other thing then, so I've got 2 sets here, but then back here, I've got the swing. Now, well, I'll demonstrate it here. Clearly the swing is not big enough for, well, yeah, but it's there, isn't it? Actually, I can just fit. But when there's bamboo canes and runner beans hanging down here, that's not going to be great. Now I could do it the other way around and that would be absolutely fine. So swing it round that way, swing. But that means you're putting bamboo canes up this bit and you've not got nearly as much growing space. So this is when I decided it would be a really smart thing to bring my broken arches down to the plot. Now I had to walk these down the street. It's a good job I don't live that far away. There's that broken part. I've got some broken legs there, but that's essentially what I had to carry down here. Good thing they're very light. Now, so what I'm thinking is in some way, much like I have these ones because they needed repairs too, put these here. Now I think they're going to be a bit lower because all the feet have pretty much broken off of these ones. But I think that'll be okay because the plot slopes down. So these will be lower, but from the front, they'll probably look the same height. That may not work out, we'll see. Which means though, that I have to find somewhere for the swing now, which I'm not sure. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's move it out of the way for now. All right, Dory. And I'm not sure that's the best place to be sitting right now. Do this on the angle. Ooh. Now it could go here, but that's no good because I've got a brassica tunnel for here, and this is the only one it'll fit on, I think. Ooh. Okay, right, that's out of the way. So then these, that's the less broken one. That needs to come on here, like that, and continue the tunnel all the way almost to the greenhouse. Yeah, that's lower. I can still get through, but what about when I put it into the ground? This may not work. But we could make those shorter. I could do the 1.8. Good morning. You will have seen that I rather gave up the plot last night. Well, I gave up about the arches. I just couldn't quite see how it was going to work. So I gave up, but then it forced me to do the thing that I should have been doing anyway, which was the weeding. And I actually weeded almost the entire plot. The family came down, Mum gave a hand as well. She had a go at the fruit tree guild. I also need to mention that Mark's dad had a go at trying to empty my IBC tank. If you remember, I've got the IBC tank there, but can't quite work out how to get the water out. Well, he brought a pressure washer and sucked up the water from the top into the pressure washer. I had to go with that, but then we just used a pipe, and I got about half the tank down into my water butts before the suction kind of gave up. So halfway there on the IBC tank, halfway there on the arches. I woke up about 2:30 this morning, couldn't get back to sleep. If I've got dark bags under my eyes, you know why. And yeah, I've decided I probably just need to buy some new arches, which I know a few of you have told me anyway. The old arches I won't be getting rid of. I will repurpose those in some way, perhaps to make tunnels. But anyway, turned out to be a very productive evening, and it was evening. I didn't leave until nearly 8 o'clock last night. But I'm pleased with what I got done. However, I still want to get those peas out, and we will do it before the end of the episode. But we've got a busy morning this morning. I've just watered the garden because we still haven't had any rain and things were drying out a little bit. And I've watered in the greenhouse, which is getting very full. Oh yeah, I was going to show you some of my seedlings and things. Yeah, I've got a second floating shelf on the go. Actually, I just did that shot as I was coming into the greenhouse and noticed the fraying on the string for that floating shelf. So I think I need to reinforce that before it falls down and I lose all my pumpkins. And I lost them last year to mice. I'll be losing them this year to collapsing shelves. But I'll just quickly show you. So on the original floating shelf, these are all my cucumbers, courgettes, patty pans. They're all on that side. And then this is the first lot of squash. Some haven't come up yet. I'm not sure what varieties those are because the labels are facing the wrong way. And a couple on the other floating shelf haven't come up yet, and I think those are the gourd ones. But the birdhouse gourd has come up. This one I'm growing along with Clare at the farmyard garden. Look at these leaves though, my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited for squash. I've also got sunflowers on the go. Those were the long, these were the dwarf. We've still got the peas floating as well. I can't remember what variety of peas these are. They're not half as impressive as the alderman on the plot. And I don't think, because it's quite patchy germination across here, I'm not sure that's going to slide out very well. Now on here we've got the sweet garlic. Sweet garlic is doing excellent. We've got some random brassicas. We've got more brassicas that I've just pricked out. We've got some cornflowers here. These were from Clare, as was the cosmos. My lupins are doing really well. And I've actually got some of last year's lupins that I've took down to the plot to plant out. Maybe we'll do that later. My gypsophilia is doing well this year as well. All of that I got damping off last year. These are okra. So I talk about okra all the time, but this year I decided to try some okra as well. What is less impressive, and I have to come in here around the mustards, is my sweet corn germination. What's happening here? Only 3, and I did this entire tray. I'm not sure why I did an entire tray. That's far too much sweet corn, but maybe that I only have 3 anyway. Then on this side, we've got cabbages and Brussels sprouts, antirrhinums, more very small brassicas. We've got more brassicas. We've got more sweet peas. I've already taken some sweet peas down to the plot, and these ones will go in the home garden. These are kohlrabi, I believe. What else have we got? Got onions. Oh, and these are my 2 absolutely enormous trays of flowers. Look at these trays. They are huge. These are from Container Wise. And these are the trays that they sell that are repurposed from nurseries. So they're second-hand trays. And yeah, they're huge. The only downside of them, because they're a nice size, I think they're a 4 centimetre square. But you can't fit them in a gravel tray. Like the gravel trays aren't big enough. So you do have to top water. But I've got calendula and cosmos, stocks. I've got strawberry tree. No, that's not right, is it? What's it called? Strawberry sticks. I've got strawberry sticks. They're calendula, more cosmos. Yeah, all sorts in there. Really excited about all the flowers that I'm going to put onto the plot this year. Just on the way inside to show you what's in there, but I paused because I've potted up my ranunculus and they're looking absolutely fantastic. These were saved corms. I put them in these big pots because I couldn't really think of anywhere to put them in the ground in the garden. They haven't been slugged yet. fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm really excited about the ranunculus. I'm also really pleased with this, which you might remember I said I had a geum in this bed, which still had the tag on, so I knew it was an actual geum and not a geum weed. And it started to flower. And look how stunning these flowers are. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm so pleased with that. Now inside the house, things continue to be absolutely mad. So if I just take down the backing, there we go. You can see what I'm dealing with here. And yeah, it is a little bit crazy. So probably the first thing to mention is this that's coming all the way, and it's actually going back round the front now, which is the loofah. And that's the loofah from Clare that she gifted me. My loofahs are less impressive. They are only that long, but I've just repotted them, and my hope is, yeah, that they'll get there in the end. But this one has already had little loofahs on it, and I've had to pick those off. Now also from Clare are these tomatoes. They're indoor tomatoes. There's loads on there, and I've eaten my first ripe one as well. And oh, to eat a ripe tomato at this time of year is amazing. There's another smaller one there. These are the tomatoes that Claire gave me that are for outdoors. They're all absolutely huge. I've got my chocha down there that's doing well. The tomatillos, which I think I might put out on the plot quite soon. I've got my chilies here, and they're just getting up to the lights, and these keep trying to flower, so I keep pinching the flowers off. And there's more chilies up there. Those are sweet potatoes from Clare. My tomatoes, my most impressive tomatoes, which are the beefsteak ones, because I sowed those first, but my other tomatoes are the salad ones, which are here, and they're doing okay. And then these ones are my cherries, and of course they were the last to be sown, so they're still quite small, but I put them into fresh compost to try and get some true leaves on them, which do look like they're coming now, thank goodness. And then in front of the shelf, we've got more, I think these might be the chilies, and above was the sweet peppers. We've got aubergines as well, aubergines all along the window, and I've already had my first cucumber, and there's another one coming just there. And then lastly in the corner, we've got a couple of melons. Those are from Clare as well. And then my alyssum came up really great, but my achillea, not so good germination. I love it. I love all of this, but it has felt rather overwhelming since coming back from holiday, because so much needed doing, so much needed potting on and pricking out. But I feel much more on top of this now, and in fact, now I can just sow more things. And as I showed in last week's episode, there's still lots that can be sown. Right, okay, let's head down to the plot then. Right, I have found my netting. I'm hoping it's not all rotten and it's going to go on okay. I still need to put one more cane across the top of the arches, and then we can try and get these peas in. Now, massive big arches may seem a little bit like overkill for peas, but these are alderman peas and they grow absolutely huge, really, really tall. So I think the arches are probably the best for them. When they're done, they can potentially be replaced with other things. We'll have to see. I've not grown alderman before, so I don't know how long they're going to crop for. Right, so a pole across the top. I need to keep an eye on the time as well, because the allotment shop only opens for a very short amount of time. I don't want to miss it. And we've also got a little treat this afternoon. We're heading out, and I need to be ready for, what did my cousin say she's going to pick me up at? 11:45. So yeah, I can't spend too long doing this. Let's see if we can get this netting on. I'm trying to think how I did it last year and what was the most efficient way of doing it. I suppose you've got to go from the top, really, haven't you? That's I did it on my own. But how did I do it on my own? I can't even think. How would I have done it? Okay, maybe like that. Like that? No, this isn't the right way, is it? No, I've done it wrong. No, it's got to go this way. And it went over the middle. That's it. Right. Oh no, lost my mic. Yes, that was it. I guess it's not easy, being that it's very windy today. Oh no, it's got a call on this bloody thing. I think Mark's put this on my plot. This is not mine. Right, there we go. Okay, so now we need to find the ends. Okay, I've got an end. Let's just hook that there for the time being. Well, that went a lot more smoothly than I thought it was going to, so that's great. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to put the peas along here, and so I need to dig a trench and just generally get this area ready. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to check if the allotment shop has opened, and then I can show you the new compost that I've been trying out to replace the silver grow. So this is the stuff. It's called Eco Grow. It's £7 a bag, 50 litres. I bought 2 to keep me going for a bit. I have seen it cheaper. Claire and I went to a nursery and they had it for two for £10, really good. But I couldn't fit it in the car at that point because my car was full of Claire's plants. But I can't say yet whether it's a really good compost because I've only just repotted things in it last week. But it certainly looked better than the silver. So we shall see. Watch this space. Right, back to the peas. Right then, I was going to say moment of truth, but moment of truth is going to be the point at which we slide it out of the guttering. Can I keep my reputation intact after my successes last year? Can I even get this out of the polytunnel? These have got much too big. Oh dear, let's, right, I'll stop talking, I'm going to concentrate. Oh. I want to pull them out and break them. Come on. No, that's not going well. I've only got one hand. Oh, I heard that snap. Ah, damn it. Right, okay, I'm putting it back on. Right, one false start. Scissors. Right, let's hold it in the middle. Oh, it's really heavy. Oh no. Oh, I did it. Oh, how am I going to do this side though? Oh no. Come on. Oh yes, I did it. Oh, move my hand down. There we go. Oh, right. Let's get this to the front of the plot. In the meantime, I'm going to remind you how this is supposed to be done, and then we'll see how it goes this year. Now this is a different piece of guttering than last year. The one I showed you that's in the home greenhouse was the one I used last year. This has got a funny shape on it. It's a bit more square. Certainly the peas are big enough, so they should have made a good root system at the bottom, which is part of the helping. They seem to be well watered. I don't remember the last time I watered them, but so that's another key, keep it watered. Take it off this end as well, in case I have to push. Ooh. I didn't have any ends for this guttering, so I just used tape, which seemed to work really well actually. Can I get this string off now? Yep, string off. I'm really building the tension here, the suspense, aren't I? You know why? Because I don't think this is going to go well. I don't think this is a much longer piece, I'm sure, of guttering, and that might make a difference. Probably should have measured before I dug the trench. Does it need to be a little bit longer? I'm going to go for it. Right, hose out the way. Here we go. Now, last time, the key was a little shaky. Shaky. It's moving. Shaky. It's moving a little bit. I think it's doing it. I need more leverage. Oh no, what happened to that bit? Oh, go on, back in. Wasn't your turn yet. That went, oh, let's pull that, push that bit. Oh, come on, shaky. Oh no, that bit's just going wild. It's this last bit won't come out. Well, there's a big worm. Right, I'm gonna have to get in there. It's just a bit stuck, that bit. Put that there. Come on. Let the hurry in. There we go. Loosen it up a little bit. There we go. We got there in the end. Oh, wasn't quite as seamless as previous years, but it has worked. They're in. Oh dear. Right, I've just pushed the peas over a little bit so that I can fill in. Oh, and crumble this clay soil around them. There we go. Oh, I'm actually quite pleased. That went okay. And look, we've got peas in the ground. That's so exciting. Still, if everything is as much of a production as putting these blooming peas in, it's going to take a long time to fill this plot with crops. Right, let's give them a good watering. There we go, peas are in. Now, they're not quite reaching the netting at the moment, but I don't think it'll be long until they find it. So I'm not going to do anything special for them at the moment. They can just seek it out themselves. I also don't think I'll be using the guttering again, not because it was trying to fail me, I think I'm going to class that as a success. But because peas can be direct sown, and indeed I have direct sown some around the plot now, I don't think I shall bother with the guttering. Hi. Right. Well, job done. What I might do though is just find a little bit of netting, just in case the birds go after them. And in fact, this gives me an opportunity to use one of the only things that I bought in Turkey, well, I brought back with me, which is these big clips for using on the allotment. I mean, they're not, they're for putting, securing your towel to a sunbed, I think. All right, pop that on there. Oh, there we go. A deterrent. They could get in the other side, but... Well, it's just gone 11, so I should probably head home now and get ready for our little trip out. I'll see you there. That was the 1620s house and garden plant sale, and we went last year as well, you might remember. And what I really wanted to show you again this year was the guy who had all the unusual vegetables, and unfortunately he wasn't there, and neither were Jurassic plants, so actually it was a bit disappointing for me. But it's still a lovely place and I really enjoyed walking around the gardens. But yeah, did not buy anything, which is very unusual for me. Good job it's Malvern next week. And if you're at Malvern, we the YouTubers are going to be meeting up by the RHS sign at 1 p.m, so do come along and say hello if you happen to be there on the Sunday. Now, while we're making announcements, I have a pretty exciting one. I have been invited to become a regular member of the Pottymouth Garden Club, so I shall be appearing on Pottymouth, and I had my first episode on Monday with Tony and JB, and it was great. We had a really great conversation. They asked me lots of questions about my growing and my growing spaces and really put me at ease and were really lovely. So yeah, if you want to join me over there, I'll put a link to the last episode in the description below. Right, now that I have some compost, I can pot on the squash that have just shot up. So these were sown just before I went on holiday, so 17th of April, and we're now on the 4th of May. And yeah, they're looking great. Some, as I said before, haven't come up yet. But I thought if I got some of the bigger ones out, I could see what might need resowing. So I'm going to need some pots. Actually, those are probably a good size. I quite like these square pots as well because you can pack more in. And let me just show you the quality then of this compost. Okay, just grab a handful. You can have a look. So it's a pretty dark colour. It's quite crumbly, but yeah, it seems to have a good consistency. I've got high hopes. So now we just need to see how it actually performs. And part of that will be how these squash do once they get potted on into it. So I'm going to get on with that. Thank you for joining me this week. Take care. Hope to see you next week.